In this video, I will talk about how to write great Instagram captions that will get you more likes and comments, so basically will give you more engagement. There are a lot of accounts that have 10,000 followers or more. However, oftentimes you will see that their engagement is quite minimal. So you might see maybe 45 likes on each post and between 0 and 5 comments. What that means is that that account is posting captions that are not as relevant to their target audience. And while it's great to have 10,000 followers, if there is no engagement, it becomes simply a vanity metric, and you cannot really do anything with it for your business. At the same time, you will see accounts that have less than 1,000 followers, however, their engagement is huge, and these accounts are able to actually make a living off of it. If you are growing your Instagram account with purpose and you want to achieve a great engagement with your audience, then stay tuned until the end, where I will share with you the posts that have performed really well for me, where I achieved up to 10% engagement, and posts that didn't do so well. And I will also explain why. Now, you might think that 10% is really not that much. However, the average influencer account achieves between 1 and 3%, which is already considered to be great. So this channel is all about how to create such content that makes your audience sit up and engage with you. So if you're an entrepreneur and you would like to start creating great content, or if you would like to keep getting better, then subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so that you know when the new video comes out. And now let's dive right into it and talk about how to write great Instagram captions that increase your engagement and give you more likes and more comments. Let me paint you a perfect picture. Let's say your post or the picture in your post had the stopping power, and now the person in your target audience is looking at your post, they're looking at your picture, and they're looking at those first 2 lines of text. And then those first 2 lines of text are so captivating and so interesting to them that they click that more button. And then they go and they read through your whole caption, and that caption is resonating with them so well and it's aligning with them so well that they actually want to engage with your post and make a real comment. And it's not a comment like, oh, beautiful picture, or just a lot of emojis, or worse, a bot that is just reacting to your hashtag, but it's a real comment that is responding to your caption. Now, this is a real achievement because that means that you were able to express your thought in such a clear and interesting way that it 100% resonated with that person, a person who you don't know and who actually doesn't know you. And then you will see this person engaging with your other posts, leaving meaningful comments to your other content. That person is very likely to become your future client. So now let's talk about how to create great Instagram captions like this. First, it starts with knowing who you want to talk to, so defining your niche or your target audience. And this one will take some time to figure out, because there is a lot of advice out there that you need to know your audience, you need to know your niche. However, if you're just starting, it will be very difficult to precisely define your audience. It's a little bit like meeting a new person. When you're meeting somebody new, you do form a certain view of what the person is about. However, it will take a lot of conversations, formal and informal, before you get to know the person, before you really get to understand what makes them happy, what makes them sad, what they're struggling with, before you are able to really address those struggles. So that's why I don't believe that you can define your audience precisely right from the start. So it's about throwing things out there and seeing what resonates and what doesn't, and based on that, defining and enriching your target audience. What I recommend, if you don't have your audience pinpointed completely yet, is to write out a description as well as you can. So when you created your product or your service for somebody to address somebody's struggles, you already had an idea of who it would be. So my recommendation is write it out as well as you can. When I define my target audience, I define it based on needs. So I don't look so much at the demographics, but I look into what the person struggles with and whether they are at the point where they are ready to work with me. So for upmarket, Upmarked is a platform for entrepreneurs who create valuable educational content for other entrepreneurs to help them grow their business. However, they're not getting enough exposure, so their content is not seen by enough people. This is my target audience. Of course, I go much more in depth, and because Upmarked addresses several target audiences, because it's a platform, so you will have entrepreneurs coming to learn and hire, and you also have entrepreneurs who are providing the service. I have several target audiences and I go in depth on each one of them. However, you will see that none of them are based on demographics. So I don't look at how many children the person has or their sex or their age. All that matters to me is that they are an entrepreneur who is creating valuable educational content but are not seen enough. So one type of content that resonates really well with my audience is the content that helps with growing your audience or creating high quality content. Once you have that basic information written down, then let's start writing captions. And you will see that some captions will get a lot of engagement and a lot of response. Some captions will have absolutely no feedback. And then some captions you will think, this is really spot on, I really got it, my audience will love it. There will be no comments at all. Sometimes you'll create a caption and you will attract a completely different audience that you've never thought about, but there will be a lot of engagement from it. And based on that, you can start shaping your audience and start to describe a real person with real struggles that you can address with every single Instagram caption. Now, of course, there is more than just defining your target audience. Let's talk about the actual structure of the caption that makes the person look under your picture, read the first 2 lines, then click more, read the whole text, and then engage with your post. So first things first is the first 2 lines that you see under the post. Those are the lines that need to tell the person reading what they are about to find out. And they also need to be captivating and intriguing enough for the person to click on that more button. Those first 2 lines are called kind of a hook. So one way to start a sentence is, for example, one thing that helped me, or just like you, I was struggling with. And then you go into the struggle and explain how you overcame it. Or another way is to start painting a dream, but a dream that you have achieved for your audience. So for example, this is how I started making 10K a month. And then you go into the caption and then you start describing how you have done it. But the hook, so the first 2 lines need to be captivating and intriguing enough, and they need to be aligned with the dream or the struggles of your audience. Now, once they click on that more button, the job of a great caption is to expand on what you have mentioned in the first 2 lines of that post. So let's say, for example, you are a mindset coach and your first 2 lines are saying, one thing that helped me turn around my business. That's a hook. Then you expand into actual caption, and there the core message that you want to deliver is that you narrow down your niche to, let's say, teachers or yoga instructors, or one specific target audience, rather than trying to serve everybody, which made your content much more targeted and made your job much easier, and therefore you started to really turn around your business. And now we need to take that core message and write a great caption around it. So how I do it, and I'm not a copywriter, but that works, is I take that core message and then just write in my own language. What that does is that it creates a story, it creates a feeling, and it also adds the authenticity so that you don't really have to think about it. You just kind of let your words flow and write just as you speak. Don't go off any tangents. Address just that first message in those first 2 lines, and that's all you need to do. Now, I want to talk about how long a good caption should be. And here it really doesn't matter. If it takes you 3 paragraphs to tell your story, then do that. If it takes you 3 sentences, it's also perfectly fine. As long as the story flows, that's all that matters. If your target audience can resonate with it, they will read it all. My only recommendation is to have a good mix. Some captions should be maybe 1 sentence to 2 sentences, and some captions should go a bit deeper. So of course, in 2 sentences, most likely it's going to be a very light caption, and a story that you need 3 paragraphs for, that will probably be more deeper and engaging caption. Every great Instagram caption will have a call to action to it. This will tell your audience that your caption is not just a food for thought and please don't do anything with it, but it will actually invite a real conversation. So let's go back to the example that I gave before, where let's say you are a mindset coach and you are telling your audience how you have turned around your business. One way to end that caption is to ask, how are you planning to change your business, or what's happening in your business? Try to ask open-ended questions, because that will engage your audience in a real conversation. Unlike, a yes or no question that you cannot really respond to. When your audience comments, you can comment back and get to know them better. Now, if you have enough information to start writing great Instagram captions and you can't wait to start, then go ahead. Before you go, please subscribe to my channel if you want to know more about how to create high quality content. Hit the notifications bell, and then I'll see you next time. If you would like to know more, now I want to tell you which posts have performed well for me and which posts haven't, and also why. Now, I will share with you 2 posts that have done really well and why, and 2 posts that have completely flopped for me. So the first post is this one, and this one has done really well. Why? Because the first 2 lines tell my audience how to get more likes, comments, and follows on their Instagram accounts. And then once they click more, the story has a surprising element to it, where I don't talk about the hashtags or all the standard tools, but rather have a surprising element to the story where I talk about breaking down the industry hypes, which a lot of people resonated with. And by now, I also know that they will. And this is the second post that I wanted to share with you that did really well. In the first sentence, I mentioned that as an entrepreneur, when you start things, it takes forever. And a lot of people in my audience could resonate with it, because this is a pain point and a struggle of a lot of people in my audience. So that worked really well. And now I will share with you 2 posts that didn't perform very well. So the first one is this one, where I talk about, as an entrepreneur, you have to learn a lot of new things. And here it just emotionally didn't resonate, I think, with my audience, because the entrepreneurs, they already know that they need to learn a lot, and they didn't really see what they would read in the caption that would help them with that, or maybe it's not even a struggle for them. And then the second post that didn't resonate at all was this one, where I forgot to include the caption. So it has no caption, it had no comments, and it didn't have a lot of likes. So this basically tells you that having a good caption is really, really important for you to grow your engagement. This is all I had to share for today. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and let me know in the comments below what kind of Instagram captions work the best for you.